Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it's going to be a mashup of Housewives news. You know, normally I cover these Housewives a little bit separately, but it's Friday, it's Pride, and I know you just want to get to the tea. So let's get to it. First off, Heather Thomson, as you know, had a very bad episode on The Real Housewives of New York. She came back and now she's gone very quickly, as quick as she came. Well, now she's receiving backlash for some of the things that she's saying on social media. So if you didn't see the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York, it seems as if Heather was trying to, quote, white-splain to the other ladies in regards to what Eboni might be going through. But she went so far during this episode. By the end, it was almost as if it was fake woke, comparing, you know, her experience with Black people to working with Puff Daddy and working with Beyonce, and not really understanding pretty much anything, especially when she ended her conversation with Eboni by saying, "Oh, Eboni, you're just so articulate." And I know there's a sector of you out there saying, "What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?" There, trust me, people, there are a sector of people out there still believing that's a compliment, especially saying it to a Black person. I've told my experience multiple times in regards to people saying that to me, or people saying, "Oh, you're not like the rest of them." Yes, I've actually heard that, people. I've actually heard that. Either way, I'm digressing. Let's focus. Well, now Heather's under fire again for some of the comments that she was making on Instagram. So let me bring up the Instagram for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And that's part of the reason why I am doing this on StreamYard instead of where I would normally do this. So let's bring this up. All right, so this is, shout out to our friends over at All About the Real Housewives on Instagram. If you're not following, please make sure you follow and support. As you know, we like to cite our sources here. So this is a comment that that Heather responded to. And the person said, "Eboni needs to go. She doesn't fit in and she's a race baiter." We'll skip through that. But then Heather responded to this person saying, "I have to agree with you. Hers is not a class I want to take." Then she goes on to responding to this other person saying, "Thank you. The truth is production shut down and Eboni knows it. It's sad she's trying to Monday morning quarterback for Leah with what is a deliberate attempt to trying to change the narrative of the sensitive issues that took place. It's low and it's sad to see. I would have thought negative campaigning would be below Eboni, but she's shown us that it is not. So much for her obligations to tell the truth. The fake narrative she's trying to plant now is garbage. We all watched the show. We know season 13 was edited after I quit again. And so, yeah, so you know, they are going to give me a little love as they possibly can. Contracted housewives are their priority, not someone who quits. The whole experience is sad and in of itself on many levels, but at least they got one thing right. It's true. I don't fit in." There's a lot of things going on here in regards to this story, and it's a sensitive topic. However, that's the problem I have with Eboni, is because she's connected herself so much with Leah, and Leah came across just as bad in the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York, especially when Eboni herself was trying to tell her why this election that just passed was so important to her. She went immediately from what Eboni was saying to jumping down Heather's back instead of really listening. And that's the theme of this episode. No one was listening. So her defending Lee, I get it. It's your girl, you're loyal. No, I wouldn't even get involved in any of that mess. But Heather, your fake wokeness was so true. And one of the things a lot of people were saying about Heather before, you know, she came back this season was she came across fake and inauthentic. And that's part of the reason I believe Bravo decided not to bring her back after I think it was like 3 seasons that she was on. But I digress. I'm not going to waste too much time on this Heather story. Heather will be gone after this next episode. Heather started off great in that last episode, but then it just got really like, ooh, Heather, just be quiet. Just be quiet. At this point, just be quiet. Look, and as we know with editing, there are a lot of things that are left out. Not sure exactly what happened because she did allude to something happening between her and Leah. You saw Leah throw the flowers at her on that bus. You already know how I feel about Leah. Get her off my show. But let's move on because I don't want to talk about Leah anymore. Oh, my goodness. Let's talk a little bit about Tom Girardi. Tom Girardi, as you know, is under a conservatorship. Well, he is speaking out for the very first time, and it's in a court situation. So again, shout out to our friends over at All About the Real Housewives on Instagram. If you're not following them, we will post a link in the description of this video because, as always, we like to cite our sources. So this is the report. Tom Girardi breaks his silence on the conservatorship as his viral legal and financial issues continue to make headlines. Sidebar, you also may recall that Erica Girardi wanted to get some sort of gag order against Ronald Richards, the famed attorney that has been commenting on these housewives cases on social media. So that was denied. Ronald Richards is officially a part of the people trying to see all through her assets. And I heard, shout out to our boy Up and Adam and Emily D. Baker, who were talking about this earlier today, that 30 to 45% of that money that he is able to find in her assets will go to him. Ugh, it's icky. It's so icky. Anyways, I digress. So there are also, and a lot of you have been in my comments saying that Tom has had a shady business practices in California allegedly for quite some time, and the California bar was aware, allegedly. So now that leads to all kinds of possibilities in regards to their past clients wondering, did we lose because of his for his, I don't even know how to describe it. What, was his mental capacity already deteriorating when he represented me? Anyways, so Tom Girardi speaking out for the very first time. And this is what he said on this past Wednesday in a virtual court hearing. He said this: obviously, I disagree with the conservatorship altogether. He told the judge, earlier this year, Tom's brother, Robert Girardi, was placed in control of Tom as well as his estate and finances. Tom then explained his plans to end the conservatorship. I think that we should put together the reasons why the conservatorship should be dissolved, and then we'll address the court. Right now, I have nothing to say to the court. So despite Tom's objections to the judge that Robert ruled that Robert should continue to make decisions about Tom's health, healthcare, daily dealings, estate, and finances. Oof, Tom. I've said this before, and this is all alleged. It's just very convenient timing for the divorce, for this dementia diagnosis. Based on, like I said before, Emily D. Baker, who covers a lot of these cases here on YouTube, said that, yes, they did have interviews and things like that, but were there other testing for this diagnosis of Tom? Who knows? We will be following this story, and we'll be following some of our favorite YouTubers that have been following this story for quite some time. And if you're not following them, be sure to follow them and support them and let them know where you found them. Anyways, let's move on to why I know you're here. As you know, last night, speaking of fellow YouTubers, our boy Up and Adam had an exclusive interview with Falynn Gobadia, and she made some stunning revelations. But I know a lot of you were like, well, we were expecting more. We were expecting her to say this or that. Well, she took the high road, which we love. I mean, some of us don't love it in our business, but there were some things, some little breadcrumbs that she said in her interview that, we are still sort of reeling over. She said that she found out about their relationship, Portia and Simon's relationship, like we did, all on social media. But then there's the other side. Some people are like, why would he say anything to you? You guys are broken up. But what did you want to give someone who was a stepmother to your children, someone you shared love with for quite some time, a little grace, a little heads up, especially because they were co-stars on this show together? Simon tried to stop this interview. If you missed the video that I did yesterday, he tried to take a legal action against Fallon, or at least tried to scare Fallon. But Fallon was not scared. She said, I'm going to tell my truth. And we're glad that she did. But some people, her other former co-star, and also someone else that she called out in this interview, without saying her name, I don't believe she said her name, Latoya Forever. You may remember the infamous fight between Latoya and Fallon at her home for the Halloween, where Fallon said Trini, and everyone was like, Trini? Why is she saying Trini? Well, Fallon revealed in this interview that Latoya Forever allegedly said to her a racial slur, which is Ching Chong. Because if you don't know, Fallon is half Black and half Thai. So now, Latoya Forever, who is ever Clout Toya, as her ex Adam liked to call her, is now saying that she is lying. Well, let's take a look. Shout out to our friends over at the Peach Report Daily. First of all, I love you guys over all of our Instagram Bravo heads, people that do this every day. Just know that I appreciate what you do. You make my job easier because, look, I'm not into breaking news. I'm here on commenting and bringing it to my folks that may have not seen it yet. And as always, we love hearing what you have to say in the comments. So don't forget to let me know your thoughts on some of these hot topics. But let's get into this Latoya Forever situation. So Latoya took to social media and commented under the Peach Report Daily's coverage of this Fallon interview. And this is what she says: if lying to stay relevant was a person. But let's take a look at the comments. Shout out to our boy Scotty was in the comments. Scotty was like, but why did her man leave her as soon as Pride Month arrived? Ready to live his truth? Scotty. And if you didn't know who he was referring to, he's referring to her relationship, Latoya's relationship with Vaughn. No word on. But look, everyone in the comments is like, Toya should be the last to say something like that. Someone else says, stay relevant. Girl, I know you ain't talking. Another person says, if refusing to take their foot off somebody's neck was a person. You know what? You guys in the comments, it's the comments for me. Latoya, from what we've heard, Latoya is not coming back, but we did see Latoya Forever, and I'll post that picture so you guys can see that as well, hanging out with light-skinned Keisha. I can't. Do I still have to call this girl light-skinned Keisha? As you know, I did a report yesterday that light-skinned Keisha allegedly is going to be on the next season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So now I'm wondering, is Latoya Forever going to be the one to introduce her? Because I've heard that Latoya is not coming back. But maybe she is coming back and she's going to be a friend of, and these two are going to be friends. I'm kind of scared. But also people have been feeling very different. When I reported on this story about light-skinned Keisha coming on the show, and she's originally from Love and Hip Hop last season, ATL, a lot of people are saying, oh my goodness, what is happening to this franchise? Are they just trying to run this franchise into the ground? I don't know. I'm not familiar with light-skinned Keisha in her work on Love and Hip Hop. I am familiar with Latoya Forever's work on Atlanta last season, and I try to give her grace, but she just seems to be problematic all around. And I'm just not here for the antics for people that just want to be seen on television. I mean, it's good for my business, but at the same time, it's a little annoying. Either way, I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and let me know, what do you guys think about Heather Thomson and what she had to say about Eboni? What do you think about this Erica Girardi situation and Tom finally speaking out? And what do you think about Latoya Forever and her thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. I'm going live.